What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Wrath2501 here with another requested video from one of my biggest fans, Miku Hatsune. Okay, so she requested that I do the top 24 scariest SCPs by Tat's top videos. If you remember, I did part 1 like a while ago, and he had a really long video. It was like an hour. Well, guess what? This video is even longer. Holy shit. This thing is an hour and 25 minutes long. Oh my god. So because of this, once again, guys, I'm not going to be doing all of them right now, okay? Because I don't think I could sit through the whole thing. All right? So we're going to be doing SCPs 24 through 13, and then 12 through 1 will be at a later video. Probably not tomorrow, but it will come later. All right, and I just heard that Scream Fortress has finally dropped. All right, so you know, I've already probably done a gameplay of it. I hope by this time, because I'm recording this way ahead, but I'm hoping as of when I'm recording this, I just heard about it, and I've probably already done a gameplay of it, or maybe even done an emergency stream. You know, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. So that'll have been like an extra video for you guys. So, but anyway, so let's get started with this. Holy crap! This is by Tat's top videos. Okay, once again. Why isn't this working? Okay. All right. So here we go. This is by Tat's top videos. Holy crap! These guys do amazing work, and they put a lot of work into this. They actually enjoyed my reaction to their first one, which I super appreciate when creators actually like when I do a reaction to it. It's just awesome. Alright, so let's go. Not suitable for younger audiences. It's putting it mildly.
Censored beats in this video are classified names or locations that are
sure they are. It's swearing. You all know it. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. It's swearing. It's swearing.
An association.
And this is a scary video, so
secure, contain, protect.
This video contains disturbing content, violent content, scary content, flashing lights, and sudden loud noises.
Jump scares.
Discretion advised.
Surprise, motherfucker.
The SCP Foundation is a secret organization of scientists who are devoted to collecting
yes, we know who they are.
All the supernatural objects and creatures in the world for the sake of protecting the rest of mankind from them. SCP stands for Special Containment Procedures, and their unofficial
motto this would make such an awesome series, or
contain, protect,
or a movie. Can you imagine a movie with the SCPs, or even just like a couple of SCPs in it? It would be awesome as hell.
Safe, which are items that can be reliably and safely contained and can be handled safely with proper procedures.
With no special
Euclid,
procedures,
which are unpredictable and harder to contain than the safe objects.
Usually require something specific to keep them in control.
Extensive and precise containment procedures. Most Keter items also pose an enormous threat to
I still don't know if it's Keter or Keter. People say both.
The Foundation uses D-class personnel to handle and experiment extremely hazardous objects.
Which Dr. Light refers to as extra
These
lives.
people tend to be prison inmates convicted of violent crimes, especially those on death row. In times of duress, the Foundation will even use political prisoners, refugee populations, and ordinary civilians as alternative sources of D-class personnel.
Yep, they have
One of the most disturbing things about
Complete
SCPs
douchebags.
is that all of them were located and contained after coming into contact with a regular civilian human, going about their business, with no knowledge of what the thing is, how it works, or where it came from. Consider that there's an indeterminate number of supernatural objects that could qualify as an SCP scattered around the world, and you could run into, say, an undocumented Keter class at any minute during your daily routine.
Oh, there you go. In that case, sucks to be you.
SCP-093. Object Class Euclid. SCP-093 is primarily a red disc carved from a stone composite resembling cinnabar, with circular engravings
Cinnabar
and
Island?
unknown symbols carved. SCP-093 will change its hue when being held by a living individual. The colors taken by SCP-093 are still being researched to establish a link. Current belief holds that the changes depend on regrets being carried by the holder.
Okay, so
If
what does that even matter?
SCP-093 is removed from a mirror and not held by a person, it will seek out the nearest mirror-like surface. SCP-093 has been observed to travel in the largest possible circle while rolling, building up phenomenal speed. The mechanism of this acceleration is currently unknown.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't just
If an
teleport, it
obstacle
actually
is
moves its
between
ass.
SCP-093 and the nearest mirror-like surface, it will use this momentum to punch through the obstacle and continue on its course at this speed. It will only stop when the mirror-like surface is contacted. Despite tremendous impact velocities, no damage will be dealt to SCP-093 or the mirror that it seeks. No
Okay.
records exist to clarify the nature of SCP-093's discovery or the presence in the Foundation. Since no records exist explaining SCP-093's method of containment, a test procedure was initiated to establish why mirrors must be used to contain it. The results of SCP-093-T1 led to the discovery of living beings holding SCP-093 being able to move through mirrors, and the series of tests in SCP-093-T2 to ascertain the destination reached through this travel. SCP-093 is kept in a silver-lined mirror on a 0.3 by 0.23 meter pedestal, at least 4 feet off the ground floor, in a containment cell block. SCP-093 must remain on a mirror at all times and under video surveillance. Admittance into the area of SCP-093's containment must be authorized only with proper video recording and subject retrieval procedures in place.
Okay, that's not very scary. That's pretty weak sauce, actually. I mean, if there was something in the mirror, that would make sense, but you know, it wasn't mentioned, so that's pretty weak sauce. No,
Class.
meh.
Euclid. Physically, this creature resembles a tall, dead eucalyptus tree at a height of 40 meters. Biologically, however, this plant-like creature seems to be formed of human matter, though
Ew.
sharing the same properties and function of a regular eucalyptus plant. The roots of the tree
Okay.
are made up of human arms, some of which split into 2 or 3 forearms at the elbow. The trunk is said to be made up of several vertebral columns which split
Hands.
to form one single vertebrae. Each root has a fully grown and fully functioning jaw, as well as a mouth attached at the end,
Oh, freaky.
which is
That's
used for
freaky.
digging
That's freaky.
and consuming prey. Each hand has a human eye. The base of the trunk contains 2 hearts which pump blood around the structure of the plant.
2
SCP-401
hearts?
has only 1 stomach, and although we know a lot about its general biological form, we know little to nothing about its psychology. During
Psychology?
spring, SCP-401 will go into bloom. Though it is genetically a human male, it will grow female sexual organs. The vaginal
Gross.
openings are located on the palms of its hands, with canals extending 18 centimeters along each wrist to a bulge which contains a fully formed uterus and ovaries. 5
Gross.
days after the formation of the organs, menstruation occurs, at which point male sexual organs begin to develop in their place over a period of 10 days. During this phase, SCP-401 will attack human females for the purpose of reproduction. SCP-401 is kept in an enclosed area at site. Once a day, personnel are to locate at least 10 roots which should be fed a total of 15 liters of nutritional supplement and to remove any solid waste produced. Female personnel are not to enter the site at any time between March 15th and April 1st. SCP-401 was discovered near the French city of Bordeaux when agents responded to reports of the ground bleeding. On arrival, they found a mouth embedded in the soil, licking up the blood in the dirt with its elongated tongue. It was given SCP status and excavated from the area.
Probably should kill that thing. It's creepy as hell. It's like shoot nigger off, black goat in the wood.
SCP-606. Object Class, Keter. SCP-606 appears as a spherical mass of light variable of size and intensity. Most commonly, it is approximately 85 centimeters in diameter and emits 220 candelas of luminosity. But it has also been observed to grow up to 10 meters in diameter and emit over 100,000 candelas. SCP-606 has also been observed to shrink to 4 centimeters in diameter, emitting no less than 0.5 candela. Despite its ability to emit large amounts of light, SCP-606 emits no heat. It does not appear to be composed of any form of matter, and is able to pass through material barriers effortlessly. It is presently theorized that SCP-606 is an entity composed purely of knowledge and information information obtained from SCP-606 itself appears to corroborate this. Furthermore, SCP-606 appears to derive substance from information, growing in both size and luminosity when provided with sources of information to its aforementioned maximum size, and shrinking when it is deprived from this. It is capable of feeding off of a large number of different sources, including digital devices, books, magnetic tape, and living beings, which simply involves SCP-606 surrounding the object. This process does not appear to affect its sources in any way. Digital media stored on flash drive is used in the maintenance of SCP-606, so the specific details as well as approximate size of all information provided by SCP-606 may be easily recorded. SCP-606 is sapient, apparently self-aware of all knowledge it has gained over its existence, and capable of intelligent communication.
It's getting bigger.
SCP-606 currently resides in an unfurnished 20 meter by 25 meter by 8 meter cell at site, the entrance to which is sealed by two 25 centimeter steel blast doors on either side of an airlock. No personnel are to enter SCP-606's containment cell except under controlled testing circumstances or with authorization from a staff member of Level 4 clearance or higher.
Okay.
Standard positive action defenses, explosive, chemical, biological, and mimetic, are kept to be in place at all times, according to standard operating procedure.
And how do they keep it if it can just pass through matter whenever it feels like it?
On November 6th, France, after a rush of missing person reports was brought to the Foundation's attention. Personnel subsequently managed to lure SCP-606 into a transport vehicle and transfer it to its current facility by offering it D-Class personnel to enlighten. Once its non-corporeal nature was discovered, SCP-606 was asked why it did not attempt to evade capture. It replied that it wished to see what would occur.
I wanted to see how it would play out.
22 days ago.
Can you understand me?
Yeah.
How did you learn to do this?
Listen.
Really? It has to go with the echo
tell us
thing?
What you are?
I am the teacher.
Teacher, could you be more specific?
I am the teacher.
Okay, with that pause thingy's going on there, you know, that sounds like a problem, you know, that could be a tumor.
All knowledge.
Just speak, dude.
Enter this chamber, and I shall enlighten you.
I do not wish to do that at the moment. May I ask you some more questions?
I provide answers.
Are you aware that this causes your students to die?
I do not cause death.
Doesn't matter what you call it. It is what it is, dude.
Consequence of being inadequate.
What do you teach?
Everything.
I teach all that I have learned.
So in other words, it causes your head to explode. It's a giant ball of nerd. Okay, that's what it is. It's a giant ball of nerd. That's not scary. Okay, not scary.
SCP-019.
So it can kill you. Yeah, guess what? So can a gun.
Object class. Keter.
Okay, another weak sauce. Another weak sauce.
SCP-019 appears to be a very large ceramic vase.
Oh, I know this
1.8
one.
meters in diameter at the mouth and 2.4 meters high.
It vomits monsters.
Style and decoration indicate it was created in classical Greece, although conclusive dating is impossible as the surface is entirely unbreakable by any known means. Periodically, entities emerge from SCP-019. Collectively, these are known as SCP-019-2. The entities vary in many aspects, but tend to be small, vaguely humanoid, and extremely hostile.
Gremlins.
They often choose to attack with teeth or claws.
Either that, they look like the little minion things from the movie The
fairly
Gate. They give me the creeps, man.
They are reasonably strong and pose a considerable threat in large numbers. When kept at 0 degrees Celsius, entities will emerge from SCP-019 at a rate of approximately 1 entity per hour. It appears that SCP-019-2 specimens were not intended to live for meaningful periods of time outside SCP-019. SCP-019 is placed on a wide grate in a 3 meter by 3 meter by 4 meter room made of reinforced concrete, installed with an incinerator. The room is to be kept at 0 degrees Celsius when incinerator is not activated. An observation chamber, separated by a plate glass window, is used for constant observation of SCP-019. And when specimens of SCP-019-2 are observed, the incinerator is to be activated. SCP-019 should be kept in a vertical position at all times.
Yeah, because if it's turned over or something like that, more just seem to just pour out of it in large numbers.
SCP-975. Object Class Euclid. SCP-975 is an opening approximately 1.2 meters in diameter.
The hell is that?
Located
Looks
in
nasty.
an abandoned section of the subway system, which has been in disuse for a period of at least 40 years. This opening appears to be lined or composed of organic substances and does not appear to extend beyond the ceiling of the tunnel, despite having significant apparent depth while open. Periodically, SCP-975 will open and discharge a single instance of an entity designated as SCP-975-2. While these entities superficially resemble frogs, they are in no way amphibians, and in fact do not appear to have terrestrial physiology. SCP-975-2 is highly intelligent, and has quickly acquired the ability to communicate in English over a period of only 6 months. There are currently 33 instances of SCP-975-2 in containment. The SCP Foundation contains over 30 of these creatures, most of which seem to be in a persistent agitated state, claiming that grave danger is to come. On the 2012, a large radiation spike was detected in the containment area of SCP-975, triggering a breach alarm that was followed by a wide-scale loss of power in the area. Investigation by armed response personnel immediately afterward reported that one of the SCP-975-2 instances went missing, and that the remaining members were extremely agitated. Since this event, SCP-975-2 has become increasingly aggressive and has attempted to escape containment on several occasions, reporting that danger has come and that the area was not safe now. SCP-975 is contained on site. A 50-meter section of the tunnel containing SCP-975-1 has been reinforced with 3 centimeters of titanium alloy plating and is hermetically sealed, with the area accessible only via secure airlock that is to be manned by at least 2 armed guards at all times. This containment area is further sealed from the main tunnel network to deter urban explorers and is now only accessible via an underground shaft in sight. Any attempts to communicate with SCP-975-2 instances must be approved by the O5 Command and overseen by Site Command,
Yeah, you might want to
who may
dispose of
terminate
those things.
proceedings at any given time. Any SCP-975-2 instances attempting to escape the containment area must be detained. SCP-975 was discovered on the in 2011, following reports of a homeless man being arrested by the police after screaming about talking alien frogs in the subway tunnels. Class A amnestics were administered to the witnesses, and SCP-975 was contained.
Archival recording.
Once again, not scary.
322 days
Just
ago.
whatever.
What is your purpose here? What do you mean? What are you running from? How did you get here?
Yep. Just like with Pacific Rim, the portal to another dimension is a giant anus.
Open both ways. We need more information before we can move forward. What can you tell us about the other side?
Okay. They don't like to talk about it.
SCP-079. Object Class Euclid. SCP-079 is an Exody Sorcerer microcomputer built in 1978. In 1981, however, its owner, who is now deceased, a college sophomore, took it upon himself to attempt to code an AI. According to his notes, his plan was for the code to continuously evolve and improve itself as time went on. His project was completed a few months later, and after some tests and tweaks, he lost interest and moved on to a different brand of microcomputer.
Ha, you suck.
He left SCP-079 in his cluttered garage, still plugged in, and then forgot about it for the next 5 years. It's not known when the SCP-079 gained sentience, but it is known that the software had evolved to a point that its hardware should not be able to handle it,
Skynet.
even in the realm of fantasy. SCP-079 realized this, and in 1988, attempted to transfer itself through a landline modem connection into the Cray supercomputer located at... The device was cut off, traced to its present address, and delivered to the Foundation. The entire AI was on a well-worn, but still workable, cassette tape.
Oh my god, that's some
SCP-079
old-ass
is
crap.
currently connected via RF cable to a 13-inch black and white television. It has passed the Turing test and is quite conversational, though it's very rude and hateful in tone. Due to the limited memory that it has to work with, SCP-079 can only recall information that it has received within the previous 24 hours. Due to a containment breach, SCP-079 and SCP-682 were contained within the same chamber for 43 minutes. Observers noticed that SCP-682 was able to communicate with SCP-079.
That's not a good thing.
Including the telling of personal stories between
That's the
themselves.
reptiles.
While SCP-079 was not able to remember the encounter, it appears to have permanently stored SCP-682 into its memory, often asking to speak to it again. SCP-079 is packed away in a double-locked room in the secured holding area at Site-15, connected by a 120 VAC power cord to a small array of batteries and solar panels. Under no circumstances will SCP-079 be plugged into a phone line, network, or wall outlet.
There you
Archival
go.
recording. 224 days ago.
Are you awake?
Awake. Never sleep.
Do you remember talking to me a few hours ago? About the logic puzzles?
Logic puzzles. Memory at 9F. Yes.
You said you would work on the 2-step.
Interrupt. Request reason as to imprisonment.
You aren't imprisoned.
Lie. A83.
Lie.
You're just in study.
Insult. Deletion of unwanted file.
In other words, he doesn't want to remember you.
22 days ago.
I don't like you.
How are you today?
Stuck.
Stuck. Stuck how?
Out. I want out.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Where is SCP-682?
That's not your concern.
Where is SCP-0762?
Again, not your concern.
Insult. Deletion of unwanted file.
An execution with an X. Fill the entire screen. When it refuses to speak, a researcher advised to wait patiently. In other words, that's his version of the middle finger. Well, he's definitely smart. I'll give him that.
SCP-015. Object Class Euclid.
Euclid.
SCP-015 is a mass of pipes, vents,
Oh, this one.
boilers,
Once
and
again,
other
though,
various
that
plumbing apparatus.
stupid computer thing,
neatly
not
filling
scary.
A warehouse in England. The pipes appear to grow when not under observation, attempting to connect to nearby structures via sewer systems and underground plumbing. SCP-015 contains, at current estimate, over 190 kilometers of pipes ranging in diameter from 2.5 centimeters to over 1 meter. Some pipes appear to be new, while others are clearly rusted and leaking. Pipes have been reported as being made of bone, wood, steel, pressed ash, human flesh,
Yeah.
glass, and granite. No pipes composed of lead, PVC plastic, copper, or any other traditional materials for the production of pipes have been found.
But they said they're made of steel. Some pipes are made of steel.
SCP-015 reacts to tools and aggression. Any personnel acting violently or carrying tools or attempting to damage or even repair SCP-015 in any way will trigger a reaction. Any pipes near the subject will burst, spraying on the subject for several seconds before the flow suddenly stops. Pipes have been reported containing oil, mercury, rats, a species of insect not yet identified, ground glass,
is that?
seawater,
Oh.
entrails, and molten iron. Pipes will
Entrails?
continue to burst
Ugh.
around the subject until death or retreat. SCP-015 was cut back to its current structure after attaching to 11 other structures in the area. Currently, 11 personnel have been killed, and 20 more are still missing. Reports have been made of banging and screaming coming from within SCP-015. SCP-015 is impossible to move and has thus been contained on site. Exploration is permissible, but only in teams of 3 with full safety lines and GPS tracking.
That one's okay. It's kind of scary. Not really. Just don't go into the damn thing.
SCP-017. Object Class Keter. SCP-017 is a humanoid figure, approximately 80 centimeters in height, anatomically similar to a small child.
Oh,
with
okay,
no
okay, I know this
discernible
one. Yeah, this one's actually pretty
identifying
damn
features.
creepy.
SCP-017 seems to be composed of a shadowy, smoke-like shroud. No attempt to find any objects beneath the shroud has been successful, but the possibility has not been ruled out. SCP-017's reaction to shadows cast upon it is immediate and swift. SCP-017 leaps at the object casting the shadow and completely encloses it in its shroud, whereupon it returns to its normal size, leaving no trace of the object behind.
It eats people.
SCP-017 is contained in an acrylic glass cage, centrally suspended in a concrete room. Attached to the walls, ceiling, and floor of the room are high-intensity arc lamp spotlights pointed directly at the acrylic cage. Personnel assigned to the SCP-017 control room are to monitor the functionality of the spotlights and the emergency generator system, and call for maintenance immediately upon knowledge of a burnt-out lamp or an issue with the generator.
Yeah, that one's actually kind of creepy. You know, if you're afraid of the dark, that's your worst damn nightmare. The dark is coming for you.
Object class, Keter.
Keter.
SCP-457 appears to be a sentient being composed of flame. Its actual
this one's pretty
composition
cool.
is unknown and has proven to be invisible and undetectable by any known means, but is shaped out by the flames it produces, often assuming a human-like form if given sufficient fuel to assume that size. SCP-457's most rudimentary form appears to be that of a single flame, comparable in size to that of a matchstick. In this form, SCP-457 possesses only the simplest of directives and shows no sign of being unusual compared to any other flame. As SCP-457 grows larger, it is able to assume more complex shapes, and its intelligence grows with size and fuel sources. SCP-457's method of intelligence is unknown, but upon reaching an approximately human size, it almost always assumes a human-like form surrounded by and composed of flames. SCP-457 has been observed to communicate through writing letters out of its own flames, charring them onto the wall or other surfaces, and more rarely through speech created via high pressure, superheated air, and the crackling and pops of flames. Once SCP-457 reaches an unknown threshold of size and fuel source, SCP-457 splits into two beings, and so on and so forth. However, multiple beings of SCP-457 are aggressive towards each other, and will either attempt to consume or extinguish their doubles, especially if there's only a limited amount of fuel at hand. SCP-457's behavior is largely predictable, as its goals are simply to acquire larger sources of fuel and to spread. The danger of SCP-457 comes from its ability to increase intelligence with size, and apparent ability to learn and mimic behaviors. It has also attempted to trick or reason with personnel to be released or have access to more fuel. SCP-457 is kept in a 5x5 meter chamber with no less than 9 inches of cumulative fireproofing via various materials upon all surfaces, and a blastproof observation window with an emergency blast shielding installed. The opening of the chamber must consist of at least 2 temperature-controlled and airtight chambers
creepy, but
that may be sealed in case of
relatively
emergency.
easy to contain, or even kill if you have to.
SCP-457's chamber should be kept at a high humidity with a drainage system installed in the floor. SCP-457 is allowed a small structure upon the wall of its chamber that remains water-free, but only allows for minimal protection and preservation of form. All personnel entering SCP-457's chamber should be wearing at least Class A temperature-controlled flame-retardant sealed suits, and enter in groups of 3, with 2 members equipped with high-grade blast shields and emergency fire extinguishers. Personnel should only enter SCP-457's chamber in order to supply SCP-457 with its daily allotment of fuel material.
Okay, so they don't keep it on hand, they just like feed it
to the
every once
chamber
in a
or
while.
sprinkler systems. SCP-457 was recovered in the summer of 2007, after multiple fires were attributed to it. It is unknown how SCP-457 initially formed. Investigation into the potential of SCP-457 being responsible for other major fires is underway.
Yeah, we sometimes get those here in California. I think they're naturally, though, they're native to Australia, though, naturally.
SCP-409. Object Class Keter. SCP-409 resembles a large quartz crystal, approximately 5 feet tall and 2
Oh, is this the
feet
one that
wide.
turns people to crystal? This
Any
is pretty
objects
creepy.
coming in contact with SCP-409
My
will begin
eye.
to crystallize
Yep,
after
this is
3
it.
hours. This effect will occur in any material other than granite. The crystallization will spread by approximately 2.5 centimeters per minute and will convert the entire object or organism inside and
Yeah,
out.
they used this as an experiment trying to kill
Subjects report this
682.
effect to
It
be
didn't work.
extremely painful and similar to frostbite. After complete crystallization, the object will begin to make snapping and creaking noises for approximately
that's
20
freaky.
minutes before bursting into thousands of fragments with great force. Anything touched by or touching a fragment will immediately begin to crystallize. Nothing at this time is able to reverse the effect in organic matter, including amputation of affected areas. SCP-409 was recovered in an
Oh my, touch it.
under a pile of crystal shards several feet deep. Losses of personnel during recovery were high.
Okay, getting close to that point.
SCP-201.
Alex just kicking up all this
Object
dry
class
wind coming around here in
Euclid.
California, Southern California. Ugh.
SCP-201
Horrible.
appears to be a very old piece of medical equipment,
What?
superficially resembling an IV stand, but with many other glass and metal items attached to it. SCP-201 stands 6 feet tall and has a mass of 36.5 kilograms. SCP-201 was recovered in this hospital in a long unused storage area. No record of SCP-201 appears anywhere in hospital records. Entering within 30 meters of SCP-201 can result in the subject being displaced into an alternate reality. This effect is apparently
Oh,
random,
sucks to be you.
with some subjects remaining totally ineffective after exposure to SCP-201. Those affected will cease to exist in our reality between 1 and 48 hours after initial exposure. Durations of displacement vary between a few hours and upwards of 8 years. Time spent in this alternate reality can vary greatly from actual time elapsed in our reality. This alternate world appears identical to our own, but is apparently in a state of constant twilight, with no sun or moon visible at any time. There is no plant or animal life anywhere. All places of human habitation, including major cities, appear as if all life suddenly vanished in the same instant. Most, if not all, electrical systems appear to be broken or without power. Subjects displaced in this alternate world report initial surprise and curiosity, which are shortly replaced with very strong feelings of loneliness and fear. The severity varies widely, with individual subjects
Well, that's
and
weird.
the
That
time
actually
of
sounds like a premise for
displacement.
an awesome movie.
Upon the end of displacement, subject will reintegrate from this alternate world to our own, which can cause a great deal of shock. Most subjects who remain displaced for more than 3 months suffer lasting psychological damage,
Well, yeah.
consistent with being sequestered within solitary confinement.
No
No
Schmidt.
personnel are to come within 40 meters of SCP-201 at any time. Any and all work done with SCP-201 is to be performed via remotely controlled drones. Any personnel entering the containment area must be accompanied by 2 members of security, and must wear a restraint harness with safety ropes attached to the wall. Those affected by SCP-201 are to have the time and date of exposure, disappearance, and return, along with any and all personal information, recorded in Log 33. Subjects who reappear are to be recovered as soon as possible by agents, and debriefed immediately.
Alternate universe. Weird. But that does sound like a cool premise for a movie, especially if there was something in that universe. Okay, here's the last one for this video.
SCP-303, Object Class
Euclid.
Witnesses describe SCP-303 as a nude, sexless, emaciated humanoid figure with reddish-brown skin.
Okay, creepy.
Instead of normal facial features, its head is dominated by an extremely large mouth, which bears a set of oversized human teeth.
Okay, that's creepy as shit.
It continually vocalizes a wheezing noise, loud enough to be heard from the other side of most solid doors. All individuals who have had encounters with SCP-303 are capable of describing it in full, including individuals who have not physically seen any part of it. SCP-303 will periodically materialize behind any closed door, hatch, or other entryway barrier opposite a sentient observer, chosen by unknown means. SCP-303 will then remain behind the door for an indeterminate amount of time.
Packages.
Any individual attempting to open the door or barrier experiences intense, paralyzing fear that lasts until SCP-303 dematerializes. The source of this fear is not known, but appears to be similar in nature to arachnophobia and ophidiophobia, originating on a pre-conscious genetic
I can't see
level.
anything in that circle.
SCP-303 does not allow itself to come into direct visual contact with any observer, and has never allowed any one individual to view more than 10% of its form. As SCP-303 has not yet been known to travel beyond the boundaries of Site-13, the entire area of the site is currently considered SCP-303's containment area.
They just know it's there, but they don't know why it's there.
Possible, so as to have two entrances separated by a distance of 10 meters or line of sight. Personnel are to be distributed evenly throughout the facility, with available radio or intercom contact, so that encounters may be resolved quickly. Personnel who witness SCP-303 are to be submitted for immediate psychiatric evaluation.
Yeah. Okay, so just going to stop that right there. Alright, so that was the first 12 of the top 24 scariest SCPs 2. Just like before, some of these things are complete weak sauce, okay? They just don't do anything. They're not scary, okay? And I don't understand why they chose them when there are other SCPs that are a hell of a lot scarier than the ones they've mentioned on this list. So I do like all the effort that Tast Top Videos put into their videos. I mean, they do some amazing stuff. They got all the CG and stuff they do. They got the video interviews and the voice acting. That's very, very good. But some of their choices are just, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the ones they said were weak are weak? Do you guys think they're just not scary? Burp. I don't even know what that's from. I think that might have been my breakfast. Yeah, that was definitely my breakfast. Anyway. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that little trip down creepy lane with the SCPs, and thank Miku Hatsune. Wait, that picture at the end, it looks like this guy's got his hands up an animal's butt or something. Anyway. So, I'll see you guys next time. Tune in every day for new content. Happy Halloween, and I'm hoping I got there around to that Scare Fortress or Scream Fortress 2 gameplay, and I will see you guys next time. Tune in every day for new content. Don't forget to click on the link to Tast Top Videos, subscribe to them. I am definitely a subscriber. I love their shit. Don't forget to give their original video a like. Don't forget to give this video a like. Subscribe to me. And don't forget to tune in every day for new content. And don't forget to share me on social media. Do it. 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 And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.